Welcome to the top 10 best Barney Fife running jokes of the Andy Griffith Show. As the Andy Griffith Show's lovable but bumbling deputy, Barney Fife brought laughter to living rooms across America with his endless running jokes, from his mishaps with firearms to his expert self-defense techniques. Barney gave us plenty of memorable moments. Today, we're counting down the best Barney Fife running gags that never fail to crack us up. Let's dive in. Coming in at number 10, Barney goes undercover. Or even better, Barney in a dress.
He's shooting. He's actually shooting.
Barney's undercover operations were always hilarious because, let's face it, Barney was terrible at blending in. Whether it was his obvious wigs, silly outfits, or awkward mannerisms, Barney's attempts at undercover work were a recipe for disaster. And every time he dressed up as a woman, it led to TV comedy gold. Next, at number 9, Barney and the unseen Juanita from the diner.
Juanita? Barn.
For all of Barney's romantic bumbling, he maintained an ongoing relationship with the never-seen waitress Juanita. This running gag was hilarious because we never actually met Juanita, but Barney's affection for her was a constant source of comedy.
Nita. Juanita.
Whether he was singing to her over the phone or trying to land a date, Barney's unseen romance added an extra layer of humor to his character. Number 8, Barney the self-defense expert. Barney Fife was many things, but a martial arts master wasn't one of them. That didn't stop him from claiming otherwise. Barney would often brag about his supposed expertise in self-defense, trying to teach others moves he clearly didn't know how to execute. The bit was such a classic, Andy and Don even reprised it years later on the show Matlock. Whether it was botching a judo throw or awkwardly demonstrating how to subdue a criminal, Barney's self-defense gags were laugh-out-loud funny. Number 7, Barney's trouble with vocabulary.
Didn't make sense upsetting folks running around blabbing, making a big melange out of it.
Whether he was trying to sound smart or just struggling with vocabulary, Barney had a habit of getting words hilariously wrong.
It's very therapeutic.
Yeah.
From therapeutic to moulage to apathy, Barney's mispronunciations were comedy gold.
Kleptomaniacs, they call them.
What?
Kleptomaniacs.
Watching him butcher a word while trying to maintain his serious demeanor was one of those subtle but brilliant recurring jokes that kept us coming back for more. Number 6, disrespected by authorities.
The sheriff's the one I'd like to see.
Poor Barney. He always tried his hardest to be taken seriously by higher-ups, but it rarely went the way he planned.
We'll wait.
Barney was regularly dismissed, scolded, or outright ignored by visiting law enforcement, state officials, and even Andy himself.
Promise me you'll stay away from the prisoners.
Despite his determination to show off his skills, Barney's antics usually backfired, leaving him feeling more deflated than respected. At number 5, we have one of Barney's more dangerous running gags, being captured by escaped criminals.
It's you!
Despite all his big talk, when it came down to it, Barney often found himself at the mercy of the very crooks he was supposed to be arresting. With his usual mix of overconfidence and panic, Barney would get himself into situations where the criminals ended up in control.
This is the winning hand.
Thankfully, Andy was always there to bail him out, but watching Barney try to bluff his way through was endlessly entertaining.
Button thing. Ask me again, I'll tell you something.
Number 4, Barney locking himself in jail. You'd think that a deputy sheriff would know how to stay out of a jail cell, but not Barney Fife. Somehow, Barney managed to lock himself inside the very jail he was supposed to be guarding, often with Andy right along with him. Whether it was due to nerves or sheer clumsiness, this gag never failed to get laughs. And let's face it, Mayberry was probably a lot safer with Barney locked up. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this video, please click the like button. That helps more Andy Griffith fans discover our content. And don't forget to subscribe. Now back to the Barney Fife's best running jokes. At number 3, we have Barney's bullet.
There's bullet maintenance.
Oh, Barney, that's beautiful.
As the most well-known running joke on the show, Barney was only allowed to carry one bullet, and he wasn't even allowed to keep it in his gun. Instead, he had to carry it in his shirt pocket. This one bullet was supposed to be a safeguard, but more often than not, it just made things worse. Whether he was fumbling to load it or accidentally discharging it, Barney's bullet created some of the funniest and most tense moments in the series. It perfectly symbolized his well-meaning but bumbling nature as a lawman. And speaking of Barney's bullet, that leads us to number 2, Barney's incompetence with firearms. Every fan of the Andy Griffith Show remembers Barney's gun, or rather, the disasters that followed every time he tried to use it. Whether he was pulling his gun on the wrong person, or accidentally discharging it in the sheriff's office, or even at Andy's house, Barney's negligence was pure comedy gold. Barney's .38 revolver was practically a character in itself.
Mr. Case,
His overly cautious demeanor with it, combined with his constant mishaps, became one of the show's most iconic gags. But don't worry, Andy usually had things under control. Just maybe don't stand too close when Barney's on the job. Before we get to number 1, here are a few running gags that deserve honorable mention. Barney's misspelled surname.
His most capable deputy, Barney Fife.
In Mayberry, even the local newspaper couldn't quite get Barney's last name right. The town press often misspelled his name as Fike, a small but funny dig at Barney's sometimes inflated sense of importance.
For the 3rd time now, you've printed it Fike. F-I-K-E.
It was the kind of simple joke that added to the charm of the show, but for Barney, it was another reason to feel like he wasn't getting the respect he deserved. Andy pranking Barney. One of the best aspects of the relationship between Andy and Barney was Andy's gentle ribbing. He often played pranks on his deputy, taking advantage of Barney's gullibility.
see that buffalo right there?
Yeah.
Facing the wrong way.
These playful pranks added warmth to their friendship, making their dynamic one of the highlights of the show.
Darn you, Andy!
Barney Fife resigns. Barney Fife quitting his job or threatening to quit is another great running joke. Often, when Barney feels underappreciated or embarrassed, he dramatically threatens to quit his position as deputy.
It's my resignation. Signed, sealed, and delivered.
It's usually followed by him storming out in a huff, only to return later when Andy or others convince him he's still needed as Mayberry's deputy. Now, finally, the #1 Barney Fife running joke, Barney the Know-It-All.
Well, the subconscious tells the truth while you're asleep, see?
One of the best things about Barney Fife was his ability to deliver over-the-top lectures on any subject, especially when he didn't actually know what he was talking about.
We the people!
Nip it in the bud became Barney's catchphrase,
Nip it in the bud!
as he often took pride in what he thought were expert opinions on law enforcement, parenting, history, and just about anything else. Of course, his facts were usually incorrect, but that didn't stop him from going on long-winded rants.
There are forces in the atmosphere that are able to control our fate.
And there you have it. Whether he was fumbling with his gun or confidently explaining a completely wrong fact, Barney Fife's antics never failed to entertain. Did we miss any? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite classic TV show. Now click the video on your screen for more of The Andy Griffith Show.